and then send the link to my Discord real quick.
If you ever feel like your hands are getting shaky, your heart... If you ever feel...
Hold on a second, sorry. Just send something
Yeah,
up.
take your time. It's all good.
Thanks. Alright, so let me just create a Google Doc so that I know can take some notes. So this is a one-time session, not a training plan?
Yeah.
Perfect. Makes really the first thing in the training plan is just the same as a one-time session. It just I keep them in a different folder.
Yeah.
See what difference it makes. Shit. Alright, so what would you say your goals are?
Well, pretty much just getting better. Like pretty like since like I play Valorant and I'm pretty high ranked. Like I'm like top 1K. I'm top 1K. Well, I've peaked top 1K at least.
Okay.
And the only thing I'm noticing right now is that I don't know. There's just way too many people that have way better aim than me. And whenever I play aim trainers,
Yeah.
I suck. Like I'm totally shit.
Yeah.
And I notice things like there's like curves when I'm trying to aim and stuff. And
Okay.
and tracking, I'm horrible at tracking.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Honestly, I'm like I follow like a bunch of like YouTube videos that are yours as well, and I'm trying to learn from them. But honestly, like I just can't seem to figure out what I need to do to get better. So that's why that's why I booked the session. Because
so probably the easiest thing. Do you have a deathmatch recorded? If not, you can just stream one to me. Probably be an easy place to start.
Deathmatch, okay. I don't have one recorded.
Yeah, just stream it to me. Alright, let's see this. So what would you say your like past FPS experiences? Like, is Valorant your first FPS?
So it's my first one on PC. I played Call of Duty. I played Call of Duty on like PlayStation and shit.
Okay.
So I had like a little bit of like search and destroy kind of thing experience, but
okay.
This is like the first time I actually taking like mouse and keyboard games seriously.
Okay.
So
when you say seriously, was there any mouse and keyboard game like before this that you played at all? Because I mean, not taking a game seriously can still help your aim.
Yeah, I played like 4 or 5 months of CS before this game came out.
Okay,
that makes sense. I was really complete dog shit. So
yeah, that'll help a bit. Like just learn a few things passively, just get the basics down.
Yeah, pretty much the movement of my keyboard, that was kind of like the main thing.
Yeah.
My aim was never really that good.
That makes sense. Keyboard movement. It's a good thing to learn. Alright, so let's see what you got. RGX Vandal. Yay Crosshair. Oh, I like the Yay Crosshair.
Same.
Alright. Here, switch to the Guardian. You do a lot of spray and pray, and I want to see what you would look like if you can't do that. B, or whatever your buy button is. Yeah, perfect.
You can tell, not that good.
Mm-hmm. No worries. Don't focus on proving anything. Just focus on playing.
Yeah.
So what would you say that you think your main issues are?
Consistency. That's a start. Like when it comes to Valorant, it's like probably just spamming because I'm dumb. But
You do
like,
do
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of spray and pray. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Here, you want to close this and launch up Kovacs?
Yeah.
So, I just thinking for a minute.
Yeah. Go on.
I feel like one in every maybe 2 or 3 people I coach says their main issue is consistency. It's like something everyone
Yeah,
loves to say they
it's
struggle
like,
with.
I can hit shots, but then I cannot just whiff like 5 seconds later, like, nothing ever happens.
All right. So let's start with this. How many hours do you sleep a night?
Like between 6, 7, I guess.
6 or 7 hours a night?
Yeah, something.
7 hours of sleep a night. How much water do you drink in a day?
Definitely not enough. I drink like 5, 6 glasses maybe.
Okay, that's pretty bad. Drink more water. Do you do any form of like exercise or anything? Like,
Yeah, I like do calisthenics like 6
all right,
times a
cool.
week.
Exercises. You get any like sunlight? Those usually helps like just basic health things.
Well, not that much since I'm a software engineer. That's my job, and then when I'm home, I game and train inside. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
it's I don't get that much. No.
No, okay, that's if you can get like I don't know where you're living, what like the conditions there. I saw you were on London servers, so if you're in London, I guess there's clouds like 7 days a
I
week.
live in the Netherlands. So
Netherlands, I don't know if they have the sun there. I don't think they have it in the UK, but if they have like if there's a sun out when you get home from work or before you leave and you have like time to take like even just 15-30 minutes, just sit around, walk, like especially if like you wake up and you have time before work and you can just like sit around and take, that would help a decent bit. A huge thing would just be if you can shift that 6 to 7 hours of sleep to 7 to 9 per night.
Okay.
That would just be a massive benefit for you. That's like really average 8. Like if you can get 8 hours every single night, then you'll find you'll be a lot more consistent. And then other than that, you got to keep in mind that like a lot of people who focus mostly on one like multiplayer FPS game, not on their aim trainer scores, will feel like, oh, I play this way. They'll like put too much weight into hitting a shot or missing a shot. Because I mean, if you take 100 shots in one game, and that's like a big game of Valorant. Like most games, you get like 10-15 kills, so you might only take like, or not 10-15, but like 20 to 30 kills in an average game of Valorant. You take like maybe 50 to 60 shots on an opponent, maybe 70,
Right.
and of those 70, like play 1-6 targets small, see how those 70 shots go. Like first 70 shot, obviously don't do it right now, but just you'll notice that you miss it's like there's some inconsistency that's just bound to happen when it's not really inconsistency. It's just that you're taking such a small sample size and it looks inconsistent. Then add on the fact that you have enemies who are like different skill levels every single game, different people, different maps, different agents, different, and then all of a sudden half your gunfights in Valorant have all this utility stuff and there's different ranges, and then all of a sudden just expecting consistency becomes like very unreasonable, honestly. So
Right. I mean, I kind of just want to like access my subconscious aim. If that makes sense. Like when I'm like, I know when like. I know this for myself when I'm not really thinking, when I'm just playing and I'm like, I can hit it. Like,
okay,
shots.
That's
a
good goal. Have you read The Inner Game of Tennis before?
What? Sorry.
There's a book called, here I'll send in chat. The Inner Game of Tennis by W. Timothy Galloway. That book, have you read that book?
Never heard of that before.
Really? I would strongly recommend it. Very good book. Basically, like, goes in depth on, like, the whole subconscious, how to, like, get the best out of your performance, and, like, but really, like, flow state type stuff. And the takeaways of it are really, I'd say, just try to think of your mind as two separate people for a second. Don't let like the part of your mind that tries to dictate like all like you feel your conscious mind saying, "Oh, he's over there. Oh, I'm like gotta move my fingers, gotta move my wrist, all that stuff." You feel that happening. Just try to learn to shut that off, and the only way to do that is to not try to do it at all, which kind of makes it paradoxical. You want to try, you want a consistent answer, but that part of you that wants that to be able to try to do something is the same part that's getting in the way of those movements. So the only way to tap into that unconscious mind is just to let go and allow yourself to relax, play without overthinking and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope that makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah.
I made a few videos on it. I've talked a lot about it on
I've
various.
watched all of them. I'm
Perfect.
sure.
Yeah, if you can read the inner game of tennis, that would help a decent bit. But there are a few things in terms of just your actual skill that I wanted to look at that I noticed. But first, let's just see, what do you do for aim training normally?
Well, if I'm like, let's say I get home late, I wanna just, and I always warm up before I play. I
Okay.
don't warm up now,
That's reasonable.
but I have one playlist, and I have it on two different things. So one I play like two of each, and one of these, and then I play three of all of them.
Okay.
I have like, I think decent scenarios. But
Okay,
I don't
let's here go back to the, or actually it doesn't matter which one we're in. So let's see. Valorant small flicks, horizontal, no explosion. Alright. Spherical centering, consecutive tracking, TAM speed. Okay, TAM, TS, control, micro adjust, 5 targets small, eclipse flick, raw mouse control, beam click, cooler TAF, TAM speed, 1 will 2 targets, OCH, click, Valorant peak small.
Yeah.
Alright, play OCH click for me. I want to see how you perform in that. This is not that scenario.
Oh, this one. Yeah, this is definitely the worst one for me.
Yeah, I like this scenario too.
It's a very difficult scenario for me, but
It's probably one of the
before,
most difficult on your playlist.
Well, I try to keep my playlist not too complicated because I tried to do scenarios like popcorn and stuff, and I just can't even hit more than 5. So
When you're picking a scenario, always think like, what is the scenario doing for me when I'm training? Like a lot of people just play scenarios meaninglessly. They don't, when they're making a playlist, they don't think like, what do I want in this playlist, and they don't think, what's the scenario going to do for me. And that's the first step of making a playlist. You got to think, what is this scenario going to do for my aim? And the second step is think, what do I actually need from my aim? Or no, sorry, the second step is when you actually play that playlist, think, what is this scenario doing for my aim, and focus on that thing. Like, you ever done flashcards before studying for a CS exam so you can get your degree, so you can get the job you have now? Like, you don't just like mindlessly like show yourself a flashcard, I don't know, show the answer, show yourself I don't know, show you, and just go. You don't learn that way. You actually like try and think, you try and remember, you try and like learn the thing you're focusing on, right? Same with these. Like, for example, you're trying to learn, you put in raw mouse control clicking 3 or raw mouse control reload because you want to learn small micro adjustments quickly. So you really focus when you're playing on that for quick small micro adjustments, right? And that's how you kind of construct a playlist. And then popcorn, the reason someone would play
this playlist right here, which I barely ever play because I suck at every one of these.
Let's see, pressure aiming, 7 targets. Let's see you play pressure aiming. I feel like you'd actually be pretty good at that based on your deathmatch. Okay, that's your issue. You're taking the technique wrong. Stop. Alright, so remember in game how you were flicking fast and snapping between angles really quickly?
Yeah.
Alright, so one, try to do that too. In pressure aiming, the most important target is the biggest target. Like, if there's a cluster, you don't really want to spend a lot of time on the small. Just flick, even if it's a cross map flick to the biggest target, or get a few big targets and then go for like another big target. Don't waste time on small targets while there's big targets rushing at you about to damage you. So, alright, play this again. Move your mouse faster. I know you have it in you. There you go. That was your first time playing the scenario?
It's not, but for some reason it deletes my local scores every time I log in.
Oh, okay. Alright.
No, it's not. I've played it like a few times.
That's probably better than other scores. That's. It felt like you got better with it. I'm guessing this is probably close to a high score.
Yeah, I think my highest is like 8.6.
Okay. Let's think about what we want to look at. So it definitely feels like when you switch between targets, you think a lot in this scenario. Like you're very much like trying to like. I see what you mean now, but
I'm thinking, okay, which one is the next one I need to hit every time? Like I'm looking at my screen, thinking, okay, this one is probably gonna pop at me next. I'm going to that one. So.
All right. So what I want you to do. Let's hit done for a second. Let's go to 1 while 6 target small so that there's less strategy. You can kind of just play. And let's just go to offline scenarios. Play the first one. And just play it. I just want to see if you seem to think similarly. Okay, you're definitely faster in this. Okay, not so much.
These kind of scenarios, I can always like I'm really trying to focus my aim movement because I always tell I have like a small curve in my aim whenever I quick very far, and I don't aim. For, my aim on distance is pretty bad. So.
How small is the curve?
Like this. A little bit, I guess. It's really depends. It's not always there, but like my grip on my mouse is very strong because I'm trying to prevent that grip, that scurf.
Very tense.
Yeah, it's very tense.
What mouse are you using?
G Pro Superbite.
Okay. You have a hand cam by any chance?
I do not.
Okay. I think you're worrying too much about this curve. Like, yes, a curve is technically not ideal, but it's like not really one of your main issues, right?
Yeah.
And
That's pretty much also what I was wondering. Like I couldn't even tell my main issues. That's
don't worry about that. I'll get more into those in probably
yeah.
very soon. Just give me a minute. I just got to think for another minute about what I want to look at first. So
Yep.
your curve. How about this? Try to play this, but relax your grip on your mouse. Just relax your hand. Like, you don't have to you don't have to be so relaxed that the mouse is gonna fly out, but just don't be so tense that it's like tiring you out. Just aim.
They get a bit shaky.
Mm-hmm. Do you still feel like you're tiring out your hand and gripping like very hard?
Not as much as before, but
Oh, this isn't
definitely
free play. That explains it. I was expecting it
Yeah,
to
yeah.
end. Yeah, I didn't notice that. All right, that's fine. So let's try and leave the scenario real quick and go back to the OCH click.
The difficult one or the one that
It's in your warm up.
yeah, this one.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, stop this for a second and watch my stream.
Yeah.
I'm just going to demonstrate something. I'm going to use the normal version so they're a bit bigger so you can see a bit more clearly. OCH click. Nice.
Like the pink.
Yeah, some people... I feel like the blue's a weird contrast. When I set it up, it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. But it's all good. OCH click HS. Just do the normal size, normal OCH click. Alright. So, when you play... Actually, I'm going to lower my sensitivity bit because it's 24 centimeters is kind of hard to play the scenario on. So let's see. When you play this, you're very passive with the bots. You're like following it, shooting behind it. Like you see how this is kind of like how you, and you get when you get close to it, you start to fall off it again, right? Like, and obviously you're on the small one, so it's a bit harder. I want you to try and be a bit more aggressive with the bots. Like you go to it, and then you're behind it, get on it, behind it.
Right.
Get on it, behind it.
So instead of trying to track the bot and shoot it,
just flick to it, and you gotta be a bit smooth with it too. I might be going a bit fast, just for the sake of showing contrast between what you were doing. But you want to still be smooth. You don't want to like just go like from trailing it to like this, or you don't want to go from like trailing it like this.
Yeah.
Or like this is you right now. This is what you don't want to be either. Like, you don't want to just have it be a combination of two flicks, just spray and praying still. You want it to still be a smoother motion, just like this.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you get the point.
I get the point.
Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. So let's see what you... Let's see
it
the
does make sense.
All right, cool. Obviously, it'll be a bit of a learning process. It's a motor skill, so like I just want to see if you can kind of like. I won't be looking for you to do it perfectly. I just want to see if you can like, what's the word? Take the right approach to it almost. Relaxing your hand will help this. Because when your hand's so tense, it's hard to make, and you're tiring yourself out, which makes it hard to make precise movements like this. Do you feel like your hand gets tired out when you play Kovacs for like a medium period of time, like say like you're on Kovacs for 20 minutes, do you feel like your hand starts to get tired out?
Yeah. I mean, especially when I do my training periods, it's just like 90 minutes.
Alright, so...
This one, it takes like 90 minutes.
Okay, so how long does the warm-up take you?
30-ish.
Okay, so... I'd say you want to work on relaxing your hand. That's one thing. Just try and when you notice you're holding your mouse very tight, just try and loosen up that a bit. It's just going to tire yourself out, make it harder to make those precise movements, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like one of the two issues I picked up on in your gameplay, like whether the target's moving or still. It's very difficult to make those precise small movements, right? So just when you feel yourself gripping your mouse way too hard, like you're about to snap it in half or something, just relax your hand a little. And that'll help you like kind of... So then the second thing I noticed, so basically as I was saying, I'll tell you your two main issues in like 20 minutes. So basically what I was saying was your first thing, small, precise movements seem to be an issue. I think that's partially because you tense yourself and tire yourself out. And I think that's partially just because you're not good and you just need to practice. Well, I mean, you're not bad, but like, I mean, you just need to practice getting better at making those small, precise movements. Yeah, you're fine. You're like what were you, top 1,000 EU for Valorant or something?
Yeah, but
something
like,
like obviously
it doesn't really,
it's
like,
attack
really
FPS. That's a game
clicking,
sense thing. It's a game sense thing. It doesn't really mean a ton
right.
about your aim, but like
I'm also better at the static clicking scenarios than in like, this kind of
than in game. Are you saying?
I mean, like the OCH click, it's like moving targets are a bit harder than for me than the static ones. Like,
yeah, okay, yeah, I did notice that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. moving targets. So, and the other part about moving targets was you were very bad at like kind of reading and understanding them.
Yeah. Okay.
So to work on that, we can do a bit of tracking and a bit of dynamics like OCH click and other similar scenarios. So here, go to online scenarios real quick. Search up close fast space strafes. Actually, it's on the screen now. The 9th one down, close fast strafes invincible. Or maybe 10th, I don't know, around 9th or 10th. It's rated 3.8. There's close fast. There you go. Let's go to the easy version. All right.
My reactivity is very bad to the fast moving tracking.
So pause it for a second. You can break this bot down into like 3 strafe patterns. Close strafes, long strafes, or no, I'm sorry, fast strafe, or, well, short strafe, medium strafe, long strafe, right? For the long strafes, what happens is, actually, I'll just share my screen for this. Screen 1, Kovacs, and then I'll launch back up Kovacs real quick. Probably shouldn't have closed it in the first place. Let's see. Just waiting for it to load. Hold on a second. Yep. There we go. See, close. Actually, no, let's do this. Oh, wait. I'm going to do close. This is a different scenario because it just isolates the long strafe a lot more than the fast strafe. Is there an easy version of this just so I can be very yeah, perfect. I'm just going to demonstrate. So basically this is the long strafe, right? It goes oh, perfect. This is very easy. So see how it like goes long? This is one of the bot's 3 strafes, right? So when you track this, what you'll do is you'll be like staying behind it the whole time, like you were on it, and then you're just behind it, matching its speed. This is called trailing, right? So when you notice you do this, speed up to the bot and actually get on the bot. I'm trailing, speed up, on it. Trailing, speed up, on it. Trailing, speed up, on it. Just try not to trail it, because you'll trail for the entire long strafe, which 1, ruins your score, and 2, just makes it so that you're not really practicing reading it. And then the other 2 strafes are medium and short strafes, right? Which we go back to... hold on a second. Nice. Those fast strafes, easy, invincible. So we go back here, you got the short strafe. This is probably all medium strafes, and I haven't seen really too many short strafes. That's a short strafe, right? So like what you'll notice for you kind of spray and pray with them. Like you just completely like just pray you hit the target, like no real like actual attempts of tracking it. So just try and maybe let's see if there's a let's do this one more time where we see if you can figure this out and like without like
this is hard, but when I play like a, for example, smoothness training 60 or something, it's like really easy.
Yeah, obviously that wouldn't be like, it's like goes from like one extreme to the other. We're trying to work on the reacting to the short strafe, right?
Yeah.
So the question is just like can you track it, but can you react to the short strafes, or do they overwhelm you, right? Like, are the short strafes making it too confusing, too complex, and that's really just for you to decide. Like, do you feel like the reading of the short strafes just over, and obviously you get to play, you don't have to answer me right now, you can answer me like a minute from now, but just over this run, does reading the short strafes make you feel like I have no idea what's going on, this is overcomplicated, I'm confused, or does reading the short strafes make you feel like it's hard, but I can like kind of see what I'm doing wrong, or at least like if I keep doing it I'll improve?
I mean, the short drives are definitely the hardest, but I'm just like horrible at tracking it overall. So
That's
like,
fine, but let's put it like this: do you feel like, how many hours do you think you have on Kovacs?
like 60.
Okay, so this is probably, you're relatively a new player to this game, so it's probably a tough distinction for you to make for yourself. But do you feel truly like, I'm trying to think, do you have any like sports or activities you've done in real life like similar to that we could kind of draw an analogy to?
Similar to this?
Or no, just then. Well, like, do you have any sports you played in the past?
Well, I've played soccer.
Soccer, perfect. So let's see. You're playing soccer. You're running around. Let's say. Let's say it's your first day of soccer, right? You're kicking the ball and you're just trying to like see where it goes, right? And it's like really feels like RNG, right? It can go like just about anywhere.
Yeah.
If you were to try and just focus on only hitting the bottom left corner of the net, so that while like faking it right, so that the goalie dives right, or the keeper, or whatever you call it in the Netherlands, right? So you try and make it so that guy dives right while you kick it left. Then what would happen is you just like end up confused and the ball would go nowhere. It might even go behind the net, or just it wouldn't work because you just picked up a soccer ball for the first time. You have no idea how to actually move it. You'd feel like overwhelmed. You wouldn't even know where to begin with your issues, right? But if you gave it a few weeks, few months, and you started getting good, you could get it in the net. Maybe you could get it on the left half every time. And like maybe aiming for the left corner from there on wouldn't be that hard for you to do. Like, yes, you'd make errors, but you'd like be able to feel like, okay, it was off by this much. I'm able to like kind of correct that. You don't need to know exactly how you need to correct it. You just need to know like, I can kind of feel what was wrong. Like, you understand those two feelings. Like, at least
Right.
like you get the idea of what I'm saying, right?
I get the idea.
So for CFSI, when it's in its short strafes, and CFSI easy, the scenario we're just playing, would you say that makes it feel like the first thing where you have no idea what's going on, you're just overwhelmed, can't do it, or the second thing where you're able to do it, able to keep up with it, it's just a bit difficult?
I mean, I can track the target with my eyes, just not with my aim.
Contract the argument.
If that makes sense. Like I always know where the target is, so I can. It's not like I'm losing the target. It's just like I can't aim it, so it's
Okay.
more difficult. It's mostly difficulty. Like I have no trouble with.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no trouble with actually following the target. It's just my aim.
Search
is
up
bad.
close fast strafes, very easy.
They're also a very easy one if this one is too hard.
Is there? Hold up. Wait, hold on. Hit the X. Hit the X. I think I made the very easy one. Very. Oh, is there? Oh no! I thought you saw it. I remembered. This honestly might even. I forgot. I made some variant of a. I might have made a CLSI. Very easy. All right, play this. Oh yeah, this will be fine. Alright, so I like the way this looks.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one's definitely...
Well, that's not too hard and not too easy.
Let's say it's almost too easy. So we can definitely give it to you on a routine, but I'm also going to give you CFSI easy. Because this one is like way too... This is like borderline too easy. And after like a few days to a week, you'll probably cut this one out completely. Like, I'm going to send you a playlist. Feel free to copy it and edit it. Right? Like, so while I'm thinking of it, how long do you want to aim train in a day? You said you have a 30-minute warm-up right now.
It depends, right? Like if I'm coming home from work, I actually want to play the game as well. You know, I don't just want to. I'm not aim training to aim train, right? So I actually want to play the game. So I usually do like mostly a warm up, like 4 days in the week, and the other 3 I do like the long one.
All right, so how about this? I just don't affect your schedule. I make you a warm-up playlist that'll act as a bit better for warming up, and maybe train some of your issues because it takes 30 minutes. So like we can kind of look into some of your tracking issues and stuff like that in the warm-up, but mostly just focus on warming up. And then we can have a 90-minute, and I'll also make you a 90-minute training playlist that really works on like what you're trying to work on.
Okay, that'd be perfect.
And you can just like pick whenever you want to play either one.
Okay.
So let's see, I like this CLSI. So now what do I want to get into? Let's go hit done. Let's now look at the dynamic clicking aspect of what we're trying to work on. So search up Pure G Valorant Horizontal.
Right away. It's just... Right. What I often notice with these is it's hard when I'm trying to flick them, but it's easier when I'm trying to wait for them. But I know I shouldn't wait for them.
What if you did like a balance of the two? You know what I mean? Like right now what you do is you kind of like just try and flick fast and get to it before it moves. Like pray, and the waiting for it, you just kind of trying to wait where it's gonna be. What if you flicked a bit more slowly and smoothly so that you have a bit more control and a bit more ability to focus, right? Almost like you're ending trailing on a tracking bot rather than actually flicking to a target. What if you take that kind of flick of pace to where the bot's gonna be when you finish it? Oh hey, you're like 5 places above one of my Twitch mods. That's pretty funny, in my opinion. Not really. Now you're just like tracking it.
So
Here, stop this for a second. Let me stream to you again. Oh, I'm still streaming on Discord. Do I still have Kovacs running? Yes, perfect. Pure G horizontal Valorant clicking. Pure G horizontal Valorant clicking. Yeah, this one. So, I want to go back to a lower sense for this demonstration. So, let's say this is the bot. You're right here near it. It's going back and forth. You can kind of just, yeah, that was a miss, but like you kind of see how you can tell where it is, and then you hard flick to it, like you flick around it. This was like your main thing first. You'd like try and like flick fast to it, and I'm still hitting them. I don't want to be hitting them, but like you'd kind of just flick fast to it, out of control, fast to it, out of control, fast to it, out of control, and you just wouldn't really hit the bot. And then what you also would do is just sit here and wait, right? That's what you said you could do, and it would work. Like just sit here and wait, and yeah, that kind of works. But what there's like this third option where you can kind of almost go like this, like, and that was a miss. Just take one adjustment and just go horizontally onto it. Like, I'm gonna switch to my cloth mouse pad. Hold on. All right, cool. So you can just go like this and then smooth onto it. Whiff. You kind of, I'm obviously whiffing because I'm just not warmed up, but you kind of get my point at least.
I get the point.
Yeah, you get the point. Like, you don't want to, like, just, yeah. Yeah, you're doing it now. After like 1 or 2 failed micro adjustments, you can just move on to the next spot. All right, now you're just like, don't track it, just try and smoothly adjust onto it. Can you read? All right, hold on. Let me try something real quick. I'm gonna stream again an example on a bit bigger scenario so that I can, like, it's hard to like aim, talk, think about all the things at once. So I'm just gonna go to this scenario that's similar concept. They move in 2 directions instead of 1, but like it's a similar concept so that I can actually like explain what I'm doing, right? Can you see this screen now?
Yep.
So you flick to it, you're close to it, and then you just like smoothly adjust onto it.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to dial in while also demonstrating. But you get the point. Like, I'm not like going like around it. I just, if I miss one, I just go on to the next one. And I try to just like not flick hard onto it, like, but instead just like smoothly get to it. Yeah, you get the point now. That makes more sense. So let's see this again. Okay, yeah, that looked good. And you don't...
Very good. And I'm kind of getting it, but also like it's hard because I'm like used to.
Yeah.
And I'm just really bad at tracking or looking at these moving targets.
It's all good. Let me think for a second. Good work, good work. Let's see. So you're definitely improving with... So I feel like I've given you a good amount of things to work on. 1, I'll just send them in chat for you. 1, remove tension.
Yes.
Don't tense too much. 2, learn reactive tracking, don't trail, comma, smoothly get back on target in short/medium strafes. 3 would be smooth with dynamic. And then 4 would be just kind of work on hitting smaller, moving, but not always moving, targets, right? And we'll structure a playlist. We'll structure your training playlist to have some reactive CFSI easy type sends, I probably have a CLSI, comma CFSI E, CFSI VE. So just those kinds of scenarios, and then we'll have some small static, like very small static clicking, some small target switching, just like same thing, but you hold down your mouse the whole time. And if you're ever wondering if a scenario is target switching or static, just hold down your mouse and then move it over a bot. And if the bot dies, then it's full auto and it's target switching. Just hold down your mouse the whole time. If it's just like if it doesn't, then obviously the gun you're using would be semi-auto, like a Guardian. So it's static clicking. So just click. Let's see. Some dynamic clicking, like OCH and Pure G. Val horizontal. So let's see. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't. I mean, I don't think so. Like, it's all pretty obvious to me that like, when it comes to like reactive tracking,
Okay.
clicking dynamic targets, I just need to work on many things. So, and from what I'm understanding, you're gonna make a playlist for me.
Yeah, I'll make that within I'll try and make it later today. I might get backed up, but I have a lot of sessions booked this week, so I'm gonna try and make the playlists the day of or the day after, just to keep things efficient. And I'll send those over to you once I finish them.
Okay.
Let's see. Other than that, Pure G Valorant. Other than that, I feel like we know what you need to work on.
I need to drink more water.
Oh yeah, right. Drink water, sleep. Don't over tense on your mouse. Relax your hand a bit, and don't what's the last word I'm looking for? Don't worry too much about those curves in your flicks. They're really not that big of a deal, not too noticeable. You ever heard of Cartoon?
Yeah.
You know him? Like the player, not an actual literal cartoon.
Is it from the PT or
Yeah. He's got some good scores. He's a nice guy. He's a friend. I pointed out to him one time that he had even curves in his flicks, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I never noticed that." And he worked on it because he's a cartoon. He's at a high level. He didn't have a ton to work on, but really for you have so many problems and so much stuff to focus on. I wouldn't be focusing on the curved flicks right now. They're not your dominant issue. They're not.
Yeah.
And the way you were approaching them was hurting your aim more than it was helping them.
Okay.
So yeah, if you got nothing left to talk about, I'm ready to call the session.
Yeah, no, it's
all right.
It's been good. Thank you.
Sweet,
Thank
perfect.
You
good luck. Remember, sleep is huge. It's so important.
Yeah, for sure. All right, have a good day, man.
See ya. All right, let's talk to chat now. Let's put chat on screen and see what chat has to say. Hi West, hello, hi. Patrola gave me a lecture on why West Prodder. Yes. Hi. What is this? This guy was I think Immortal 3, top 1,000 in the European leaderboards at one point. Do you have any tips for shaky aim? Are you still in chat? How about this? Instead of answering you guys' old questions, just send me questions now if you still have them, or make a reply to your questions that's just a dot, so that I'm not answering someone's questions who left an hour ago for no reason. He's got an anime profile. I made a poll a while ago to figure out if anime profile pictures correlate to skill, and I'm still yet to make a trend to figure out the actual data. DMs from Metafy. We just had a aim coaching lesson purchase for tomorrow at 6. Cool. Salzy DMs. You gonna announce it? Oh yeah. Sure. You can too. Basically tomorrow at 3 we're doing a 3 p.m. EST, we're doing a podcast, an aim training podcast. I'm going to do my first episode of my new podcast where I'm going to have Salzy on, and we're going to talk tracking and aim and Valorant and various things. What do you think the best tax on I think you should start with what you struggle with in game and then go to Kovacs and find tasks that help with that. Like some ones that I feel like are kind of reoccurring themes: Pure G horizontal Valorant clicking, OCH click variants, raw mouse control clicking 3, Vox TS, Pokeball wide wall 3 targets small, Pokeball wide wall 3 targets. I feel like those ones cover are helpful for a lot of people. Yeah. Let's see. What do you think the best tasks on Valorant for Valorant? Yeah, I already answered that one. Can you share the playlist you are doing for him? Yeah. Yeah, I should be able to. It won't be anything too special. It'll just be like, I already outlined it. It will just be like some scenarios we talked about. Like, really, there's nothing special about these playlists. The important part is that you actually focus on what you're trying to fix when you play them. How do you get really good movement? I don't know. I guess the same way you'd practice, you just go and practice aim, like go in a game and practice it. Same way you'd practice your aim. Not untrue, but for low sense valid, don't know how to use it. What game do I play? I don't really play any games. How does clicking dots in a separate game translate? Well, it's all about what you're trying to do specifically. So, for example, in this scenario, we have bots moving back and forth. Not this scenario. Hold on. Pure G horizontal val. So in this scenario we were working on, we have bots moving back and forth, pretty similar to counter-strafing. When this guy was in game and people were counter-strafing, he'd go back and forth like this, right? He'd completely overcorrect every time the bot or every time the person changed directions, right? So what we're working on in this is, instead of going like this, go like this and actually hit it. Like, I'm not doing it right now because I'm leaning back in my chair, but you get the point. Like, actually, yeah, there we go. Like, actually just trying to hit the bot. So, and then we give them 100 times, and all of a sudden you can practice it way more than you can in a game like Valorant. Like, obviously then you can't work on your game sense, but and crosshair placement. So it's definitely a balance of how much you want to do of each thing in Valorant. But that's just the intent of these scenarios. Any tip to improve on 1 wall 6 targets TE? Can't break 1300. I'm on 1290. 1 wall 6 targets TE. It's a speed clicking scenario. You definitely want to experiment with sensitivities higher than normal static scenarios, like maybe mid 30s to low 40s. I'm not saying you have to be in that range. You can use other senses, but experiment with those. Focus on moving faster. Maybe do a few runs at 1300 pace or like even 1400 pace, but with whatever the accuracy is, and then just keep going like that. Is thin aiming long good for smoothness? I think thin aiming long. Is this just a... Oh wait, did I make this? No. Oh, it's literally just a centering one variant. It's... Well, I mean, smoothness is such a blanket term for so many things. It really depends on what exactly you're working on. But yeah, that could definitely help with a lot of smoothness things. Like, it won't... If you're working on being smooth in your dynamic micro adjustments, I mean, I guess some of these skills will kind of carry over, but it's not the same thing. Let's see. What would be a good scenario for developing smoothness for reactive tracking? I think CFSI and CFSI variants are very good for that, like, because they kind of go, they're just, I like those. Really just whatever scenario you're struggling in, try and train in that. Like, training in that scenario might help unless it overwhelms you, in which case you can do an easier version. Would you recommend changing sense in Kovacs? I do 20 centimeters to challenge myself, but I feel like I should, yeah, sure. Change your like really it does not matter what I would not put any weight into sense. You should react to not untrue. What is not untrue? Also, we're on you. I might have to go to Twitch for that one for reacting content. I don't know what not untrue is. You can DM me on Discord and tell me though. I get my DMs. I check my DMs. Just say like, oh, I said in chat you should react to this. What was I looking back at? I had another thought on one of these. How does translating... Oh, yeah. Basically, the other thing about how does clicking dots in a separate game translate to Valorant? Like, you ever notice how CSGO players are always good at Valorant when they start? Or people... Or Shroud can go between a bunch of different games. Like, he's not relearning all his skills when he goes into a different game. Like, you can translate skills between games, just like anything else. I don't have any bots set up on YouTube. This is my first YouTube stream. Let's see. Because I think I have a similar problem like him, but I just started playing this. You'll get there, don't worry. You just gotta keep practicing. Just find something you're bad at and practice it until you're good at it. I mostly use wrist on 18 to 20 centimeters. My right motions suck compared... What should I do? Right motion, left motion. If you're 1-3-1ing, maybe try a 1-2-2. That would definitely like allow you more stability when you're moving right. Because if just your pinky is on the right side of your mouse, you don't have a lot of stability. Or the right side of your mouse. Wait, your right motions suck compared to your left motions. Left, right. Oh, wait, no. That's the opposite of what I'm thinking of. It's hard to say. I would... Wait, is this because the AimLab left side weakness thing? Or right side weakness? I wouldn't focus too much on an AimLab left side weakness or right side weakness. Those usually aren't too accurate. I wouldn't say you should focus on accuracy and smoothness. Smoothness is an interesting concept. A lot of people kind of... Smoothness is just... All smoothness means is... Where this is like not being smooth, like flicking to get back onto the target and like being shake. Smoothness is just being smoother, and when you fall off the target, a non-smooth way would be to flick and then have to slow down a bunch when you get back on it. A smooth way would just be to speed up faster than the bot speeds up. Like, so smoothness is not really like exclusive from speed. You can be very fast and very smooth. I mean, your flicks, you don't want to be perfectly accurate. You want to try and go a bit faster and work on getting that accuracy up. Like, don't just go super smooth on perfect accuracy. And also, that's for tracking and like dynamic micro adjustments, not for flicking that you'd really use smoothness. Smoothness doesn't come too much into play in like long flicks, in static and type scenarios. I literally trained smoothness by running mini sphere voltaic on 5 centimeters for a few good weeks. Mini sphere. Oh yeah, mini sphere. I've played that before. It's on AimLab. Probably wasn't the... Yeah, no. Extreme challenges can help. It was just some scenario some guy recommended. I wouldn't say there's like... It's not a good scenario or a bad scenario. It's just some scenario. If you feel like it targets the specific issue you're trying to train, use it. Is AimLab viable? I do not have Kovacs and don't really aim train as it is. I personally don't know much about how to use AimLab. I know that it's improving, and honestly, it's not bad. I think you could get away with it nowadays. I want to work on it. At what point do you recommend buying coaching? If you feel like you know what you're working on and what you should work on, then I wouldn't buy coaching. If you feel kind of confused and lost and you want someone to point out what you should be working on, what you should be isolating, what you should be focusing on, I would buy coaching. If you're not sure if you know what you're supposed to be working on, or maybe you're wrong, whatever, I wouldn't buy coaching. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Oh yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Not Untrue is a really low sense player who makes montage. Oh, okay, cool. Although, in all honesty, the worst part about my aim is how rubbish it gets. Intense moments where I get surprised by someone. Yeah, it makes sense. You just kind of got to learn to stay relaxed. That's a whole different issue about, like, game sense and, like, thinking and stuff. That's not even a name thing. I have so many things I am bad at. I notice the things every time, but I still do them. It's frustrating. It's a motor skill. Aim is a motor skill. Being aware that you have a problem isn't enough to fix it. You actually have to put hours into practicing and working on that problem. What do you think about players like Zexro? His wrist doesn't touch the table. I don't think too much about whether or not my wrist touches the table, honestly. I've been experimenting with it a little bit. I remember back when I was coaching Zexro, I looked into his whole physical mechanics, and I didn't change anything about them. And I didn't suggest even trying a change. Whatever he did, I thought was completely fine. I wouldn't say copy him exactly, because you're different people, but any tips or scenarios for small, fast strafing targets? CFSI, Plaza low ground, Plaza high ground. I like those for Overwatch. For smaller targets, UFO variants, air UFO variants. Small, fast targets. Not really using momentum to get back on, but just accelerating in a way that you're not like hard flick, like a hard flick, like flick between it. Like, make it. It's really hard to verbally describe smoothness. Yeah, it's hard to describe, if that's what you mean by someone, if you're talking about smoothness. Being smooth and just being on target at any speed. No, being smooth doesn't have to be on target. It's more like not flicking, like, complicated like that. What is my voltaic rank? I'm not in their server. I don't even really know. Their current benches they have out right now, like the season 4s, I don't even think I've probably played the scenarios like maybe 10 times each, and most of them 6 months ago. I really have not done much with anything voltaic in the last 6 to 8 months. I really don't play their stuff. No, it's not Aim Labs. I'm on Kovacs. I get extremely shaky when I start having okay. Oh. You honestly might want to see a physical therapist, especially if you're in a country where it's not expensive. Like, that could be a wrist injury. Or, that's one of the things about only using your wrist. Not only is it less viable for aiming, it also will just make it so that you can get injured more easily, and that might be what your issue is. Uncontrollable shaking in your wrist usually isn't a good thing. I genuinely do not know what configuration suits me with the raw XL. Yeah, I don't like spending that much time thinking about settings, so I honestly stopped the raw XL a while ago. I do have Aim Beast. I enjoy it. I like their benchmarks. I really like the reactive tracking scenarios that guy, I forget his name, it started with a T, but the guy who made the Beast benchmarks did a really good job on their reactive tracking. And I know MBM helped him with kind of figuring out exactly how to do those scenarios, and they came out really well. I like those a lot. Can you still benefit from aim training on low refresh rates? Yeah. I'm just learning a motor skill. Don't worry too much if you're stuck on, like, worse setups by money. What should I do if I feel washed in game or my gameplay in general? Just keep practicing. Using your wrist is viable. Using only your wrist is not viable. What can I do when I have good weeks and bad weeks without changing warm-up? There could be 100 reasons. Make sure you sleep. Make sure you... all that stuff. Let's see. I've been running the Trips reactive test since my reactive, and doing so improved my PGATI scores. I mean, you're just practicing tracking. I wouldn't really focus too much on, like, I mean, practice is practice. At the end of the day, yes, there PGTI and isn't reactive tracking, but practice will help your tracking scores, you know. I will take Diamond 5 Jade scores, and it feels like aim training hasn't made a difference in Valorant. Yeah, if you've grinded Voltaic benchmarks, they don't have a ton that translates to Valorant. I'd recommend... I have a Valorant routine on my YouTube. If you're going to grind anything on Kovacs exclusively for Valorant, I'd probably do this video right here. But it's really up to you exactly what you want to do. Oh man, back when my videos got like 60, 30k views, and then they just plummeted down to like 5 to 10 per video. Deaderex's comment, I'm not going to read it out loud on stream, but just be confident, find a person who you're interested in, be polite, be confident, and just, you know, you just kind of got to do it like that. Yeah. And then just, yeah. Saying hit out loud, I've tried that. I've done it like kind of mentally, like with my conscious mind, just hit. I don't know if you need to say it out loud. You could try it. You're doing God's work helping. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I think Mint Loop, I think I've seen that guy on Twitter before. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I love your vids and the mental side. Thank you. I really appreciate these. Am I using too much wrist? I play on this and use most of... I don't know. It's really hard to diagnose you from a comment, and it's really hard to say what even is too much risk. Like, it's a spectrum. It's just... It's a spectrum, but allow arm motions to take place, and I wouldn't be too worried about it. If you feel like... But if you feel like your wrist is ever hurting, then you're probably using too much wrist. That's a good thought. And if you don't feel like you ever move your arm, you're probably using too much wrist. Hello there. I got a tip on how to train tracking efficiently. Pick an issue, like if you trail a lot, focus on the trailing. My most tracking, like I guess you could say gains in a week or two was when I really just focused exclusively on not trailing in Smoothbot, and I got from like, I think I got from like Plat to Jade in that scenario in like a week, not even. It helped a lot. I just do something like that, like just pick an issue and work on it. I broke 2 of my metacarpal bones and got surgery years ago and have screws inside my hand. Okay, yep, that could definitely be the reason you shake when you turn right, if that was you. I found a good article that proves that having 2 days rest after aim training is actually better for memory. DM that to me on Discord, please, if you wouldn't mind. Nathan Hassel. If you're not in my Discord server, I'll just send an invite link in chat. And then you can just go right here and DM me from there. Copy. Please, Nathan, if you can send me that article, please do. That's my Discord link right there. What do you think about the fingertip? I think it's helpful. I think it's a balance. I think if you're running a heavy mouse, it'll make you unstable. I think on most mice, or not most mice, but I think on good mice, it won't make a huge difference. But on a heavy mouse, like a G Pro Superlight, something like 60 grams, running a finger grip could make you unstable. Grid shot is the best scenario. Grid shot is pretty fun. Training speed and precision is best for game. Grid shot and I don't like grid shot and 6-shot don't have any reaction component. I wouldn't focus too much on those scenarios. Let's see. I feel like going to the gym helped me in the aim because when I don't go to the gym, my aim gets worse. Yeah, that would make sense. You're keeping yourself healthy and all that stuff. Let's see. other questions before I end my YouTube stream. When I track, I can track in two ways. One, I track very smoothly, but I lack fingertip with I don't know. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just gonna say, like, that's very much a gray area. How do I get back into aim training after a break? Just went on winter break, and getting back into aim training, I noticed my sensitivity felt fast. Just really just do it. Like, I know that's not the best advice you could give someone, but you just gotta do it. I perform best with the second mindset, but I also see the first could be helpful. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but I think I know what you mean. Will the war going on in my country help with aim? I was gonna ask if VOD will be saved. I'm gonna save the VOD privately right now, and then I think I might launch YouTube channel members and make previous stream VODs like a membership perk, or maybe I might do like some stream VODs are membership, some stream VODs are public, because I do like making public information, but I also want the money to pay my editor to make more of the cut up videos, like these kinds of videos, because these things are expensive. These things cost like $65 to edit each, so I do want the money to be able to edit more of those, because like YouTube, like if you take my YouTube ads and sponsorships and stuff and editing cost, it's negative. Once you add in coaching, it becomes positive again, but like the YouTube is negative right now, and I want to try and like make it not negative so that I can start putting out more videos. So I think I might make the stream VODs a membership perk like PewDiePie does. What do I think of 4Banger Kovacs? I think he's a nice guy. I think his content stays too basic. I don't think he really tries to get in depth with things, and I think that for that reason he's kind of, I don't want to say killing his own channel. Really, yeah, killing his own channel, and then he uploads like random meme compilations, which further kills his own channel. And I feel like he's a nice guy, and I feel like if he just stuck to one kind of content and also made his guides a bit more in depth, his channel would do a lot better. Like, I mean, why do you need a meme? I'm not going to pull up his channel on stream because I don't want to get like copyright claimed, but like what he puts up like meme compilations and stuff on an aim training channel. It just doesn't make any, there's no consistency. Is 216 EDPI low? I'm assuming Valorant. I think so. I think that's like 50. Let's see, what would that be? That would be on 800 DPI 0.26-ish. Yeah, it's low. Yeah. I feel like every time, I feel like I get one tapped every time I peek. Why is that? You don't react fast enough. You don't flick fast enough. Do you want any good scenarios for better aim in CSGO? I mean, again, it really just depends. In game, look at why you can't aim. Find a scenario that has this, that shows that same issue with you, and then play it. My movement isn't too bad, I think. Nice. How long should I train per day? However long you want. I'm not your dad. I'm not your boss. I don't know how long you work. I don't know how long you're in school. I don't know how long you play. I don't know really much about you. Just pick a number. It doesn't matter too much. I've been using fingertip for like a year now, so it's hard to go to maybe try investing in an HSK Plus or HSK Pro and see if you like that. It's only like $100, but it is $100, so it depends on whether or not you can afford it. I don't know. If you can, I'd experiment with that. I have a G Pro Superlight, and I am all the time pressing my fingers on it to move it. Should I use grip tape, or change your grip? My fingers can't relax. Yeah, that's what I didn't like about the Superlight. That's why I switched to an HSK Pro Ace. What about Rid? Rid is a nice guy. I like Rid. We were friendly when he was on the community. We talked a lot about various aim things, but I mean, he's literally double my age. He's 38, I'm 19, so we never really got close because I just crack jokes all the time, and he's a very serious guy. So me and Rid didn't become great friends, but we did we would talk game from time to time. I liked him. But I sometimes when he put out a meme on Twitter one time and I responded "Hello fellow kids" to it, and then he just blocked me. It was pretty funny in my opinion, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. Rid we just didn't get along great, but I liked him. He was a nice guy. I'm Voltaic Diamond, but I'm inconsistent. Yeah, everyone is. Static Eyed, I didn't realize I don't micro adjust at all. How much do you think it will take me to I think it'll take time to learn. If you don't micro adjust at all, it'll take time to fix that. I don't think Bardo's method is a good way to learn micro adjustments. I think you should try and actually struggle with them. Bardo's micro adjustments very slow. He goes very slow and steady, and that's why his micro adjustments are bad relative to other people at his level. I would try to go a bit faster with micro adjustments. Maybe play some raw mouse control clicking 3. Raw mouse control clicking 3. Just some of this to kind of learn the precision, small flick type movements. I'm leaning back in my chair, laying down, no idea what sense I'm on, so I'm not going to play it well. And then just maybe move a bit faster. Don't worry about resetting. Don't worry about being perfectly accurate with your micro adjustments. Just go fast and see if they hit. Yeah, it's... That's something you got to learn in game, Bulletkin, about staying relaxed in game. I have the same problem. I shake when flicking while stopping sometimes. Any ideas? Also, sometimes... Yeah, that's just you got to train stopping power. Go into Pokeball, wide wall, 3 targets, and just flick, 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 and just stop at the targets. I feel like my tracking decreases my flicking abilities because I feel that I flick slow and that I could flick if I train my tracking. Huh. You feel like your tracking decrease, you need to learn to track? I don't know exactly what you're getting at with that, but it's definitely I don't know, maybe elaborate a bit or just run an experiment and see if training that does help you. I don't know. I don't really know what you're trying to get at with that comment. I probably won't get a new mouse till June, so should I wouldn't switch all the way to a palm grip. Other than that, I don't know. I'm going to set up channel membership soon. I'm going to drop a channel membership system. You can become a channel member, gain access to private channels in my Discord server that there'll be members only channels. Let's see, DM message request. I'll open that after the stream. There'll be private channels in Discord. You'll have access to these previous live streams. You'll have access to my previous interviews. I'm going to start doing interviews on live streams. Tomorrow, I'm going to be interviewing Salzy FPS, Elite Aimer, Literal Bot, great guy, former RA member, number 6 in RA's leaderboard. We're going to just talk aim for a bit. He's actually a pretty skilled guy, nice guy. Bit of a German accent, but other than that, great guy. Let's see. So get a coaching session. MM720. MM720. Wait. I would not run a mouse so heavy with only my fingers. It's hard to... 49 grams, almost 50 grams, that's very heavy for just a finger mouse. I don't know if I could say that's a good finger mouse. It's just so heavy. Even... I don't know. It just feels way too heavy. It's double the weight of my current mouse. I don't know if I could do that. Can you recommend mice that has no DPI change? What do you mean by that? No DPI change. What no DPI shift button on the mouse? That will be set up within a few weeks. That's one of my main tasks right now. Metafy bot. Wait, do we have another session? Oh. Oh, right. I gotta do that soon. Yeah, I'll get that done soon. Uh, Thank you. I really appreciate that, Mr. Bulletkin. Can you chain... What do you mean by that, Loki? Can you explain what you mean by... Oh, right, my stream delay is like an hour long. That's why the issue is happening. I gotta fix that, my stream delay. It's so annoying. I want no delay. There's no need for a delay, but OBS gives me like a very long delay. Hello, Yarn. I fingertip death... Yeah, that thing's very heavy. If I list a coach session with you, can we work on how to fix my micro adjustment problem? Are you the guy who said you saw the Maddie Overwatch guide? I mean, we could, but I feel like you already know what you need to do. You just need to do it. Yeah, DPI deviation, if that's what you mean, I mean... No, who cares about DPI deviation? It's like... Who cares if you're on a slightly different sense between different mice? It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. DPI deviation's like... It's a meme. The only reason DPI deviation matters, in my opinion, is there'll be like people who... Oh, yeah, no, I would not worry at all about that. It's like the only reason I could think of, I thought for time and time again, for a reason to make DPI deviation matter, and the only reason, in my opinion, that it matters, is that sometime if two mice have drastically different DPI, and you're trying to go for like the 5 centimeters world record in one while 6 targets small, like an actual world record for a sense, and one guy's on 4 centimeters and one guy's on 7 centimeters, the 7 centimeter guy will have a significant advantage in getting that world record for that sense, because they both think they're on 5 centimeters. Other than that, don't think it matters. Let's see. Is it bad when my tracking and switching is better than clicking? No. No. You sound different today. I'm a bit sick. I just got over a cold. My nose is clogged. I can't breathe out of it, and my throat's getting scratchy. Exactly. Cancel. Another mouse. If you're fingertipping, if you're trying to fingertip, I really like the HSK Pro Ace. It's not for everyone, but you might like it too. I'm not really the biggest mouse guy, but I really enjoy the HSK Pro Ace. Also, the HSK Plus is pretty cool. Are there any that pique your interest? Not that I know of, honestly. No, I don't really know of any cool FPS games coming up. I don't really know which ones are even coming up. I kind of just play whatever my friends are playing, usually. Yeah, try the HSK Pro Ace. Show your support for West Prodder with a donation. That'd be crazy if everyone just super chatted and I became a millionaire in 10 seconds. No, I'm joking. Don't worry about it. You don't have to super chat. I still love you. How do I take the dust off my... I don't know. I don't know. I got the BTLX Greta Thunberg. What do you think of it? I don't know what that is. I'm not Boardsy. Yeah, talk to Boardsy on that one. I'm not Boardsy. I don't know. Escape from Tarkov Arena. That sounds pretty cool. I really have... I own like 4 mice. I'm not the main mouse guy. I'm not the main mouse guy. I don't know how to pronounce my own YouTube channel name. I don't know. It was my friend's randomly generated Xbox name, and we all just kind of... I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce my own YouTube channel name. I know that's sad, but I don't. Alright, I want to go lift. I only got to lift for like an hour this morning, so I want to lift more weights now. So I'm going to end the stream. I really appreciate you guys pulling up. We'll be back tomorrow with like a few hours of content, a coaching session, a podcast, another coaching session. It's gonna be cool, but for now, Goodbye. I love you all. Also, I'm going to make this VOD private. It'll eventually be a members only type thing. But yeah, goodbye. Yes, call it whatever you want. I don't know how to pronounce my channel name. Oh, yes, there's spots open for coaching. Fast tracking,